Hello there, Michael here. Today I'm going to show you a bit about the WebSocket API, and I have a few example programs. I'm going to show you how they work and talk a bit about the code needed to actually set up a WebSocket on the client side, only client side. So follow me here. So I have this example exercise here, so I'm going to work with that. And I'm going to scroll down here and I'm just going to start with the connect part. So what does it take to actually connect from the client to the server using WebSockets? So I'm just going to do the connect part. So I'm just going to scroll down here and actually it's going to take the code here. So I'm just going to loan that code for the time being and put it here in the background so we can have it there. Now let's move on. But first we need to have a server. And I have a server here, so I'm going to go into the connect server. So that is a server that only does the sort of connect part. And I'm going to do an npm install, and when that is done, I'm going to do an npm start to start up the server. So the server here is running on port 1337, and I have created a client for this. So the client looks like this, so I can just enter the URL I wanted to connect to, and I'm going to go with a straightforward WebSocket there. I'm not doing the VSS, which is the secure variant of WebSockets. So I'm basically just going to connect, and you see the server there that got the connection. I guess I can connect and connect and connect again, so the server gets its connection. Fine. But let's see here what actually happens. So I think I'm going to remove a few parts of the code there. So that is just working with the DOM. Let's move that away. So this is where it all starts. Sort of creating the WebSocket variable. So I'm putting it out here because I need to use it in the send message later on. So I'm having it up there. So this is what happens when I press the connect button. So besides the logging, this is basically the thing that happens. So I create a new WebSocket object using the URL I provided in the application. So that is fine. Now the WebSocket's going to connect to this URL and it's going to work. If I want to sort of listen to this connection and see that it actually works out, and I want to know when it is done doing its connection, then I can add the onOpen event handler on the WebSocket. And when that is called, then I know, yay, now we are connected. Okay, good. That was connection. So let's move away. So I'm going to stop this server. I'm going to go up and down in the echo part instead. And I'm going to do the same thing here. I'm going to install. And then I'm going to do npm start to start up the server. And there we have an echo server running in the background. Plain vanilla echo server. Echoes everything back. So maybe I should also change here to the echo part. There we go. Okay. Before we start, let's see if there is any code available that I would like to have for the echo part. So this is just the user interface, something that happens, just explaining a lot of stuff. And okay, ooh, it was a lot of code here. Okay, let's see. Basically, this is the code that we actually have. And basically, that is also, I can take these because these looks pretty new like that. Okay. So let's see. Let's check out the code first. No, let's go and check the echo server first. Yeah, we can have the code here in the background. You might want to read it while I try this out. So let's see. So we have the echo server up and running. So I'm going to go and connect to it. Seems like the connection was received there. Fine. And then I can send a message. Hello, the Moomin Troll. Like that. So I'm going to send that message, and the message was received on the server side, and the server just echoed the same message back. Yeah, we can do it once more. I think we know how this works now. Send the message, sending the message, and getting the same message back. And the server received it. Okay, good. Now let's check out the code. So we still have this creating of the WebSocket. That is the same we had before. We also have the open, but now we are calling a function, just putting out the message. The WebSocket is now open, so we can see that there. So that is just working with the DOM to output the information. We also have an on close down there, and that will, let's see if we can sort of, what happens if we break this down there. We close down the server, and we now see that the WebSocket is now closed. The WebSocket is now closed. Okay, so that is what happens when we close the connection. It will call that event, generate that event, and call that event handler. Then, in the middle here, this is the part where we are receiving messages from the server. So it is a lot of console log there. And basically, if I just remove all the console log like that, so we only have sort of the more interesting code. So this is how much code is sort of remains. Server said, and here we can see server said there, server said there. So that is just outputting the information message we got from the server. Okay, so this was a echo server on the client side. Do we miss anything? I don't think we are sending any message, right? So let's see here. What to do when the user clicks close connection? Well, that is actually only this part, not that interesting, but that is how the client can close the WebSocket on their own if they want to do that. Okay, fine. Perhaps this is of a bit more interest. I can put it down here, and then I'm going to scroll it up a bit like that. So this is what happens when the user clicks the send message button. And let's see. Okay, so we're just retrieving the message text from the DOM there. We are doing some check, and these checks are checking that we have a WebSocket object and its ready state is not closed. The free here is referencing a closed WebSocket. So we're checking that the WebSocket is open and ready to talk to us. And then I can just remove the console log, like, okay, yeah. Let's leave that, but I can at least remove that one, sending the message, because that is what we're doing there. We are sending the message to the server, and fine, nothing more to do. So it's WebSocket send. It's not much methods we need to work with here. WebSocket send to send a message. Okay, we can close it. We can start it and connect to it. And then it's all about these, mainly this event handler that acts on the messages sent from the server to us. Okay, good. Let's see. What could we do more here? So we have a broadcast server. Yeah, let's go with the broadcast. Let's check that out also. Okay, so instead of echo, let's do broadcast and see how that works. Okay, so we have a broadcast there. I'm gonna go up and down to the broadcast server, npm install and npm start, like that. So we have a broadcast server up running in the background. So I guess I can connect here and send a message, yay from tab 1, like that, okay? So it seems here that this broadcast server now it knows how many clients has connected. What will happen if I connect another client here then? So if I connect now another client and said, yo from tab 2, something like that. We see the log here. The WebSocket is open. I said yo from tab 2. Oops. I needed to update that because we didn't see what actually happened here, because we got another connection there, and it received a message, yo from tab 2, and that was broadcasted to 2 clients. You said yo from tab 2. Let's see here. Oh, server said yo from tab 2. And here we can also see that the new client connected. Yay. So when I say something here, broadcast displaced, and it's going to broadcast it. There we go. Not too good to update the terminal there. Strange. So let's see if it's broadcasted to the nudder. Yes, it is. So, hello, stranger. Send message. Yes, sent there. I got it there in the terminal. And we go up here and see on the another tab. Yes, hello, stranger. So that is what the broadcast server does. And actually, I don't think that it is much code that is needed to be changed to actually carry out a broadcast server. So we actually have all the code here back on our back here. It is just a matter of creating the WebSocket object, connecting to the URL. Feel free to create an on open and on close. They are not really needed. So the most important one is on message, so you can listen on the messages from the server. Yeah, sure. You want to have the on open and on close to sort of be able to deal with error messages and so on. Fine, yeah. And then you need to create some kind of send part where you do the WebSocket send the message to the server, and feel free to check that you actually have a live WebSocket object and that it is not closed before you actually send it. That is basically what is needed. The final part on this exercise is just talking about subprotocols. And it is initiating, let's take this one. So it's initiating the connection to the WebSocket using an optional subprotocol. So there we can list, like here I'm listing in an array, proposals of protocols that I want to talk to with the server. So these are application level protocols. So something that me as a client and the server needs to agree on. The server will select the first it thinks matches. And when it connects, it will let me know that, okay, I'm going to choose this protocol. Okay, excellent, I say. Let's communicate doing that. So that is a way to have a server that supports many different protocols and have a variety of clients out there that sort of can communicate in one or several protocols towards the server. So that is the meaning of subprotocols. Okay, I think this is enough. It is. I can just mention, so since when we are sending pure text messages here on like that. Okay, so when we are sending pure text messages here over WebSockets, so if we want to add perhaps some kind of application protocol, sending more advanced messages. One way to do that would be to send and receive JSON messages instead. And here is an example of how we can send JSON message. So we are creating a JSON object there, or a native object it is, and we're going to stringify that. So we're going to have a JSON string, and that is what we can send to the server. So it's just a matter of working with JSON stringify and the other way, JSON parse. So when we receive the message from the server, we need to take it as a string, parse that. It is in the event data. We're going to parse that, and then we're going to sort of have the native object there, and then we can use it as a native object, and perhaps sort of printing the message part or the timestamp part like that. Okay, I do think that this was all I did. Just wanted to show you how you can sort of work with the servers, start them up because you want to have your own server when you try this out and you work with it. And then it was mainly about the client code. And as you saw, it is not too hard client code. Just create the WebSocket object, create two event handlers for on open, on close, and then put your effort into the on message event handler to receive the messages, and then do something that you can also send messages to the server. Okay, that was WebSockets. Thank you for watching and see you another day. Bye bye.